There's a lot of confidence out there right now that the synchronized global growth story is intact. That's one reason why many of our investment professional strategists tell us they're not so worried about the correction we got in early February. But what are you looking at when it comes to the risks that a market correction, if it does tick up once again, could have a real negative impact on the economy?
So we at the EIU, we are broadly positive on the global economic outlook. We're expecting a lot of the global economic momentum that we saw at the last half of last year to continue into 2018. As you mentioned, the US is doing well, China is doing well, Japan, its longest recovery since the 2000s. Same for Europe. But we think there is a great disconnect between the strength of the global economy, as well, the disconnect between the strength of the global economy and the risk that we are seeing from the geopolitical, operational, and financial viewpoint.
Of those risks, which one to you is most serious when you talk about geopolitical risks? Let's start there.
So we recently released a new report, and we're assessing the global risk for the global economy. And the one that we've identified as the topmost risk is that global stock markets will tumble, causing a destabilization of the global economy. We saw that happening, a preview of that happening in February, and the proximate cause to that was the US wage growth report, which showed that wages in the US had started to creep up, which had concerns over inflation and that the Fed would start to aggressively tighten monetary policy.
There is a difference here between sentiment-driven corrections, if you will, and a fundamentally driven correction, because many have said, look, even if U.S. yields continue to tick higher, the fact is that the fundamentals on the economic front are so strong. So what would you have to see? Would it have to be a policy miscalculation either coming from the Fed or perhaps even on the fiscal side as well?
I think it's worth pointing out that the effects of large-scale quantitative easing on financial markets are not well understood. The amount of the amount of QE that we saw coming through the last few years is phenomenal, and it's nothing that we've experienced before. So the rollback of that QE is also not well understood. It's not inconceivable that the financial markets will have deep destabilization because of a small raise in interest rates.
So do you think there's still a degree of complacency there when it comes to unwinding this quantitative easing?
I don't think it's complacency. I think, as you saw, the fact that the volatility in the stock markets show that people are quite nervous. So they are deeply thinking about it. They're just not sure what's going to happen. And the fact that, whether the Fed will raise interest rates either 3 or 4 times this year, whether corporates and households can take that kind of stress, because as you saw, interest rates record lows over the past few years, which allow households to borrow, corporates to borrow at really very low borrowing costs.